Thank you so much for stopping in. A little bit ago, I did a channeling on Liberation Day, titled The Liberation Day. And in that channeling, they said that, I could not see the outcomes and timings and things like that because it was murky. So I asked, tell us a little bit more about why it's murky. This is the channeling that I received. Humanity must see the corruptions, the trafficking, the abuses that have been perpetrated onto humanity of the earth. It continues. By allowing the RV, nesara, gesara to happen, to go forward, would eliminate the opportunity for all of humanity to adjust, acknowledge, and transition from the era of dominance. Yes, there are many devastated by the delay. The RV, the nesara, the gesara is more than you perceive. When originally established, it was more than wealth. Its primary intention was to sovereignty of individual. Those of you who have been involved for 25 plus years of waiting, when you look back at the origination of your decision, your involvement in the concept of RV, nesara, gesara, when you look back, you will recall prior to your focus on wealth was the intention for sovereignty of self. The appeal of wealth came after in order to keep individuals engaged. Thus, it too became a control mechanism by the deep state, taking away the benevolence of the original intention. Reason to liberate humanity from the grips of dominance. I'm going to read that again. It too became a control mechanism by the deep state, taking away the benevolence of the original intention. Reason to liberate humanity from the grips of dominance. They, the power elite, have been successful in their mission. That is changing. The burden you feel generally comes from your relying on an assumption that something is going to happen, that the RV is going to happen on a specific date or a specific timing in a specific way. Those giving information, were not entirely wrong. The RV, nesara, gesara, was thwarted, was in capital letters. However, along the time, they, the messengers, had to maintain an interest in the RV, nesara, gesara, in their followers to stay relevant. They also stayed invested to help others keep the faith. The corruptions, abuses, trafficking, fraudulent activities reveals. Let me read that again. The corruptions, abuses, trafficking, fraudulent activity reveals that are so prevailing upon the realm are being presented to the earth humanity in a condensed way now. This is essential. It is essential to turn the tide towards harmony. That's where they ended. So I then asked, this is my next question. Is all of this this is what I'm asking, is all of this why the timing of or details of the RV nesara gesara is murky? When I looked at it the other day, the channeling I received is this: it is not to harm anyone. However, The waiting does harm psychologically the humans who wait because they want the outcome. The timeline was originally at a prior time. Humanity fell back into doubt of sovereignty for a long period, thus the delay. Now, humanity must rise above the apathy that has overtaken the energetics. This is what the controller elites wanted. It worked. Now, humanity must rise above the indifference and want sovereignty of self, of country, of individual again. So this is me talking. It's obvious that we, as a humanity group, got wound up in all of the distractions. If you look back, everything in the last so many years has been so much distraction that we fell into that trap again, not staying in the mindset of sovereignty of self, sovereignty of country, and sovereignty of individual. That's, I mean, when you look back, that may absolutely make sense. I'm going to continue the channeling. If the current U.S. administration is not maintained in all three branches, the RV will not happen. There is a battle between good and evil. It will not take long to regain the desire of sovereignty if good succeeds. It will be generations of repressiveness if evil succeeds. The people of the earth realm decide. Non-maintenance of all three branches. Hang on, let me say that again because it was a question. Non-maintenance of all three branches. It's a question. This will hamper beneficial energetics for people. The Earth and the galaxy continue the trajectory towards the era of harmony and the golden time, while humanity stays restricted in the spell of the controllers until, at which time, people allow benevolence to eradicate the malevolence that presides over the realm. So if the current administration does not maintain all three branches, that will hamper the beneficial energetics for us, for you and me, for the people. The Earth and the galaxy continue going forward, continue advancing, continue doing all the good, moving into the good and benevolent energies until we decide to eradicate the malevolence that presides over the realm. And earlier they said that can take generations. It's up to us. I'm going to continue the channeling. There are divine beings that send helpers from time to time. The helpers are thwarted from showering benevolence by the small number of controllers because of their ability to mind control the populations. This means they have had so much time to, and we have also fallen into that trap of accepting mind control tactics. We need to stop doing that. We must have been on a pretty good track, let's say about 25 years ago. Some of you have been waiting that long or some longer. So somewhere around 25 years ago, they started really controlling our thoughts, distracting our thoughts, and therefore we fell into those traps. And now we have a chance to get out of it, but we have to have the right things happen. I'm going to continue the channeling. The outcome stays murky until humanity decides which energy they want going forward, good or evil. You are not to be controlled or restrained, yet you must decide. Okay, so then they stopped, and so I asked, this is what I asked. Earlier, you said, by allowing, let me go read that first thing. They said, by allowing the RV to go forward, the RV nesara gesara to happen or to go forward, it would eliminate the opportunity for all of humanity to adjust, acknowledge, and transition from the era of dominance. So I'm asking, what does that mean? The channeling I received is this: if all of humanity are not aware of the evils that have been perpetrated upon people, they lack the understanding of the need for sovereignty. So they're just living along their life. They're just trying to make ends meet. They're just trying to survive. They're just trying to get through a day. If humanity, those people, everyone, if everyone does not have the opportunity to see it and become aware of it, then they lack the understanding of the need for sovereignty. It doesn't even come into their minds. They are so wrapped up in just trying to survive minute by minute, day by day, month by month, that they have no time to think about sovereignty of self. That is the last thing on their minds. I'm going to continue the channeling. They will continue to want the status quo and not desire the freedoms that sovereignty brings along with the transition of ages. So then I said, you have told us there is a possibility to mind wipe the staunch resistors. Can that work into the scenario if the benevolent helpers keep getting thwarted? This is the channeling. Yes, this is true. If it is left to the staunch resistors to become aware, or to the, hang on, or to the, this is coming in right now, or left up to the power controllers, it takes generations of time for humanity to level up. However, a decision by the universal helpers will come in if humanity begins to slide backwards any farther or at too much of a degree. It is for the benevolence of humanity. We help the resistors see clarity. Then the murkiness goes away with a clear path into harmony. And then they stopped right there. So that's that's as far as I went with this conversation. And my comment right now is that was really intense. That was really intense. Didn't sound like a scolding, but it was, you have to get your things together. They also said, I mean, and that is not a scolding, that is almost a plea to humanity to get our stuff together. Even, I mean, there's a lot of you who are very leveled up, but we still get caught up in the distractions. And then, just I just want it to happen. I just want something to change where we can see the benevolence of it, nesara, gesara, or the RV. And we slide back. It's not easy. I mean, it's easy to slide back. It's not easy to stay. It's not easy to stay oblivious to the distractions. It just isn't. But now that we know this, we can help ourselves better. They did say in this, and I was a little shocked when I read it, they did say the RV nesara gesara should have happened already. And I think when I was reading this, I think I commented about that. It should have happened already. And that is just the most disgusting thing that you can imagine. Because it was supposed to happen. and we were controlled out of it. We were mind controlled out of it. We were distracted out of it. And now that, I mean, it's almost a way, I almost want to say we could just kick ourselves for letting that happen, but it has. Now we just wait for more people, more reveals, more people to come into the realization, come and see the real reveals. It doesn't matter if they know all the reveals, they just have to be aware that things just are not right and that they personally, in their souls, want sovereignty. That's what we wait for. If that doesn't come, the benevolent universal forces, whatever they are, will step in and do the mind. What was it called? The mind. I don't remember what it's called. Wipe, the mind wipe, the mind wipe. Whatever it was called, the thought wipe. I don't know. That is now, it says that it'll clear up after that happens. So we just have to put our energy into allowing the people who are totally resisting and those that can't, just can't, they don't have the mind space, the ability, not the mind space, but the ability to just not have to struggle every moment of every day. They're the ones that are really, they're in the hardest positions because they're just struggling from day to day, minute to minute. And they're the ones that are, they're not resisting, but they're the ones that need to see it also. And we just have to give energy towards those people to relieve them of the stresses and the burdens of their life so they can see that they want sovereignty of self, because that's what we're waiting on. And there's no way to really determine until that happens how long it's going to take. And I'm sorry that some of you have waited so long. And this really isn't the answer we might want, but they did say, remember back when you first started this journey, what was your motivation? And they're saying your motivation was sovereignty of self, sovereignty of country, sovereignty of the individual, and then wealth and comforts and having everything that you want. And it's money, it's wealth, it's the money. So that came second. But we that's what we want. We want to be comfortable, and we believe, most of us, money equals comforts. Because when you have money, you can be happy and you cannot have all the struggles. So anyway, that's the answer to what in the Liberation Day channeling, what helps us get out of the murkiness. Thank you so much for stopping in. And please stay tuned because there's a lot more to come.